We have the pleasure of talking with Jeff Glor in our 6 o'clock show while you're in New York. He's in our studio now. First, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
So exciting.
Yeah.
What's it like for you?
It's been great, and one of the great parts about it has been a chance to visit some of my hometowns and the places where I've lived and worked. Boston, Syracuse, and Buffalo. That's been to see friends and family and just reminisce. It's been a lot of fun, and I hope to be back in Boston as often as possible.
So you spent 4 years here in Boston reporting for another news organization. We won't mention them, but obviously you have close ties to Boston, and we can sort of feel that when we're talking to you in that crosstalk during the 6 o'clock news.
Yeah, I mean, I knew Boston was a tremendous news town coming in when I took the job here. I left with even more respect for it. So much nationally is sort of funneled out of Boston and comes out of New England. It's really, I knew it before I got here and just came to appreciate it again even more and see it to this day. So this is a home for me. I mean, we were here for 4 years, and it'll always be really special for both Nicole and I.
How will the CBS Evening News with Jeff Glor be different?
Well, I think you'll see where you're blocking out some new shots in the studio, so some of those shots will look good. The anchor will be slightly different soon. Rhythmically, you might see some changes in terms of the flow of the show as we move along, and then maybe even more as we get farther down the road. I think also there's going to be even more focus, not that there hasn't been already, on the what can make CBS News special, which is the investigations, the longer form reporting, these deeper dives that we can take into issues and really drill down on them.
One of the things that you mentioned when we spoke in the newsroom is that you cannot have an agenda in this business. Your job is to tell the news. And at a time where people are so quick to yell out fake news, it's obvious that you're always going to give both sides of the story, but that's something that's very important to you, to make sure that you're always telling it right down the middle.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. If you have an agenda, you don't belong in this business, because we cover the news, and there's always going to be people who are not happy necessarily with the job you're doing.
Yeah.
That's not unique to this day. I think if we continue to pay attention to what we should be doing, which is practicing the best journalism and telling the best stories in the best ways, we'll be okay.
When I think about you, I think about a reporter who's live in the field often. You were in Sutherland Springs. You've done a lot of live field anchoring. Will we continue to see that, or are you on the desk?
I mean, I think I will certainly be on the desk more now, but they are interested in getting me out into the field, and I'm interested in doing that too, as often as possible. So I don't think, if something happens in the Boston area, I hope we'll be here. In the last, just since a lot of this has come about in the last month and a half or 2 months here, I think I've been at the scene of a natural disaster, a terror attack, and a mass shooting. It's been busy. It may continue to stay busy, and I think I know I'm interested in being out in the field as often as possible, and I think they'd like to see me there as well.
Obviously, the journalism that you do at CBS is unparalleled, but I find myself watching programs and newscasts in particular that are led by people that I like. So you, on a personal level, you already mentioned your wife, and before we did this interview, we were able to talk about how our kids all keep us up at night. You have 2 kids, you're from Buffalo, and you're a Buffalo Bills fan.
I am a Buffalo Bills fan, always have been, always will be. Yes, my son is also now becoming a big sports fan, and he's sort of picking, he likes the Bills as well, but he can take other teams now too, because he loves to follow everything. I mean, I grew up in Buffalo, where there was mainly football and
wings
and hockey for me. So anyway, yeah, and my daughter doesn't sleep, so that's a really fun thing to deal with in the middle of the night. And she's out of her crib now, so she comes running down the hallway screaming. It's a fun time.
It's amazing that you're so bright-eyed.
I don't know how I'm doing. It's caffeination.
What you need to say to your daughter now is just say, honey, I am the lead anchor of the CBS Evening News, so please go back to sleep. She'll understand.
Daddy needs a little sleep.
She doesn't care. And neither does my son. Daddy took a new job. Big deal. Big deal.
He's still my daddy.
Yeah.
So when you walk into the studio in New York, do you think to yourself, this is where Walter Cronkite did the news? I mean, can you think of it in those terms, or is that almost too much?
Yeah, it is, but it's not something that'll be new to right now. I mean, I've had an appreciation for, I know what CBS News has meant and what it's accomplished, and what its roots are. It's very meaningful to me. I try to be a student of where CBS has been and where it is now, and so, you know, yes, I appreciate that. I try to understand all that. And I'll try to carry on that tradition as best I can.
Well, we've been longtime friends of yours. We've been admirers. We respect your work, and we really congratulate you on the new job.
Thanks,
we know
man.
you'll do great.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thanks, guys.
Congratulations, Jeff.
Thank you very much.